In our land a saying goes, when you befriend a chief, remember he sits on a rope. That reminds us to be cautious with whom we trust, even when appearances are good. Today I tell a story not born of fantasy but of heartbreak, waiting, and slow repair. A home much like yours, children, love, faith, the weight of tradition, invaded by hidden cruelty. A daughter torn between loyalties. A stepmother's poison, both literal and emotional. The ruin of trust. And the slow path toward healing. May this story teach us what to guard, what to speak, and what to hope for in our homes. Let us begin. I am David Keto. I live in a modest compound in Wakiso district, just outside Kampala. 2 small bedrooms, a kitchen with a charcoal jiko, a sitting veranda, and around us banana groves, coffee shrubs, vegetable gardens. Each morning the sky is grey-blue, the roosters crow, and children call across the compound to one another. When I married Lydia, after 3 years being single, I believed I had found a stable peace. Lydia is gentle, God-fearing, firm when needed. She wakes early, boils water, cooks matoki, beans, millet porridge. She prays for our children. In our home, respect for elders, church on Sundays, prayers at meals, greeting elders, these are traditions we live by. Julia was my daughter from a prior marriage, the first had failed after 5 years. Her mother, Mara, remained in her life in part, though distance and tension grew. When we made agreements, we decided Julia would stay with me during school terms, during long holidays she could go to Mara. I thought it balanced love, fairness, and stability. One Sunday afternoon, Mara visited. She embraced Amara, kissed Noah's cheek, handed Julia a packet of sweets. Her voice was honey, my daughter, I love you, I come for you. Lydia greeted her politely, I watched. After she left, Julia lay on her bed, silent. I sensed a change, but I could not name it. Within weeks, small things began. One afternoon, I returned early from work. I found Julia standing by the cooking pot, her face unreadable. I asked her to help Amara with schoolwork. She obeyed, but under her breath I heard, no one cares what I feel. Lydia later whispered, I saw her tears when you weren't watching. Neighbor Auntie Binta came the next morning for tea. Lydia confided, she spills water, breaks cups, then blames Amara or Noah. I wash the mess, but the blame sticks. Auntie Binta nodded, said softly, stepchildren travel hard roads. Our culture respects mothers, but also demands fairness. Julia began lying, a missing notebook, a torn page in a textbook, blame assigned to others. Teachers called, asked for explanations. In our community, children's words are taken seriously, sometimes they are believed without question. At night, Amara would wake crying, water-soaked blankets. One morning, Amara's favorite carved wooden doll, made by our matriarch, was found smashed. Julia claimed it had dropped. I asked, where were you? She replied, I was in my room. No one saw. One lunch, Lydia prepared a huge pot of posho and beans, enough for all. Julia insisted she was extra hungry. Later, when dinner portions were low, we discovered most of the food had been poured out quietly. Julia shrugged, I thought someone else ate. Lamps broke, clay pots cracked, picture frames smashed. Accusations flew, Noah bumped it, Amara was doing it. But I watched Julia's face, relieved, smirking in shadows. Over months, more insidious acts followed. After one meal, Julia complained of nausea, stomach pain, fatigue. She claimed it was nothing, yet she vomited. I stayed beside her, worried. She said, Mama didn't eat well either, maybe the stew was bad. She grew weak, listless. I suspected something in the food. Mara was abroad now, or claiming to be. Yet I discovered phone messages, cook it at your mother's house, use a pinch extra. Do it when no one watches. On camera later, I would see her hand signals. Julia grew manipulative. She would collapse slightly in the bathroom, cry help me, then accuse me of having ignored her. Teachers called, your daughter says you hit her. I was summoned to the head teacher's office. Julia was present, weeping. Without proof, her story carried weight. Lydia and I argued in whispers late at night. She is being coached, Lydia said. I see her eyes when I speak. I felt trapped by love, by fear, by the weight of tradition. We honor mothers, we do not accuse lightly. The house felt fragile. One midnight, I watched on hidden camera. Julia tiptoed with a jerrycan of water toward Amara's room. She poured water across the mattress, gently, so Amara would wake cold and weeping. I saw a message from Mara on screen, do it when they leave. Make the damage clear, blame them. The cruelty was deliberate. We called a family meeting. I played the video. Amara cried. Noah's face was pale. Lydia trembled. Julia sat, blinking. I asked her in Uganda, did Mara teach you? Did she tell you to do these things? She hid her gaze, shook her head, then whispered with tears, she said you wouldn't love me unless I showed pain. Lydia held Amara, spoke softly, respect is earned in deeds, not by pain. In that moment tradition collided with truth. A child must honor parents, yes, but also truth and justice matter in our culture. The good deeds of children are seen in the eyes of their mother. After the confrontation, Mara arranged to depart Uganda. She claimed a work contract abroad, in Saudi Arabia. She left Julia under my care. Because of the evidence, support from our pastor, community elders, I gained de facto custody of Julia. Without Mara's reinforcement, Julia's manipulations loosened slightly. We erected new routines, bedtime prayers, apology rituals at dinner, truth-telling guidelines. We brought in a counselor from our church. The community, neighbors, elders, watched cautiously but offered small help. In Uganda we say, Omwana takilila new imoe, a child does not grow up in one house alone, the village helps raise them. Julia resisted, but occasional kindness showed. She started doing chores, apologized privately, attended church services. Amara began sleeping with less fear. Noah spoke his thoughts. The compound's tension eased. Healing was slow, painful. In therapy, Julia admitted she felt torn. She believed she had to hurt to be seen. She said, if I don't act, Mama will think I don't matter. Lydia and I forgave but held boundaries. We showed love, but not blind acceptance of cruelty. We used proverbs in teaching moments. It takes more than a dye to change the color of an ocean, change requires deep work. We taught her, Ikienjela amangu, Kivunda mangu, what ripens quickly, spoils quickly. We held a small ritual. We invited elders and neighbors. We cooked matoki, beans, chicken, shared in the yard on banana leaves. We asked Julia and siblings to share where they were hurt, where they felt loved. The community had. The shame turned into accountability. Julia's school teacher later told me, I see change. She asked me to forgive her for lies she told. That small admission felt like a crack in the wall. Now, friends, we end not in perfect resolution but in hopeful persistence. In our land they say, if you refuse the advice of an elder, you will walk until sunset. May we not refuse wisdom, may we speak truth even when it hurts. This family may remain forever changed, scars persist. But when truth is confronted, when compassion is held with firmness, healing can begin. Even wounded homes can be remade, slowly, with grace. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for walking with me in this story. Webel Nayo. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more videos.